What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Hey, everybody. What is going on? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. And today is Woke Wednesday. Yes, it is. And we're going to get right into it. Let me ask you this question. Are you comparing yourself to others? Are you? We're going to discuss that here on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel.
Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now.
Hey, we are back. We are here on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. And we're talking about the 5 actions or attitudes. This is a series. This is the final video. This is the final video of the 5 actions or attitudes that keep us stuck. This is also a part of the Getting Unstuck series. Now, these are things, I'm not sitting over here telling you that you are doing these things, so you need to stop doing these things so you can get yourself unstuck. What I'm saying is that there was approximately about a 7 or 8 year window toward the end of my baseball career, and it spilled over into my transition once I was basically left the game of baseball because I couldn't pitch anymore, that keep us stuck. And we are talking specifically about number 1, which is comparing ourselves to others. Now, we started at the bottom and we worked our way all the way up to the top. So number 5 was asking why versus how questions. And specifically what that means is that I believe asking why questions bring us from the past to the present. But when you ask how questions, that take you from the past to the present, but it also gives you a blueprint. It gives you a plan of action to get where you want to be. That's number 5. Number 4, saying why me? Basically feeling sorry for ourselves. And again, these are things that I went through. And at that particular time, what you do, if you spiral deeply down that hole of asking why me, then what happens is you start looking around for other people to support your raggedy mindset. And that's exactly what I did. And it eventually took me down that road. All right. Number 3 is rationalizing our lives. And what we do at that point is what Les Brown says, that if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. And really what it's saying is that if you put limitations on yourself, basically rationalizing where you are in life and just saying, well, this is where I'm going to be, then what you're going to start doing is surrounding yourself with people, your mindset, and everything is going to support you just saying, this is the best that I can be. And so now I'm here to just say, I got out of that mindset and just looked around and said, there's got to be some things better. And I start moving in that space. Number 2 is complaints without action. And this is something that I share with my kids. I said that a complaint, all it does is state the obvious, that there is an issue, there is a problem, there is a challenge that needs to be resolved. And so you need to take action. But what happens is people will take complaints as action. They get nowhere, but they just say, well, if I complain enough, then maybe this problem will get resolved. Nah, that's not going to happen. A complaint is only going to get resolved when you take action. And number 1, comparing ourselves to others. And this is what we're going to talk about today. All right. So when you get in that mindset of comparing yourself to others, a couple of things happen which actually will help spiral you into a deeper sense of depression and sadness and all that stuff when you start comparing yourself to others. 1, you start looking at what they have and what you don't have. You start getting a little jealous. 2, you start shaming yourself, saying that, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you there? Why aren't you at this point? What's going on? 3, you're not creating anything. And 4, you're not actually putting together any sort of goals. Because like Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, what gets measured gets done. If you have some goals, you have some sort of direction. But if you are jealous of what someone else is doing, shaming yourself, you're not creating, you're going nowhere with that. And so that's the first thing that is outside of yourself, external, as opposed to what you have 100% control of, which is the internal, which is your makeup, what you have, what skill set you have. Because if you're looking at what someone else has, I mean, how can you get any better other than if you're using it as a measuring stick? Now, that's the only way that if you are looking at what someone else has and you go, I like what they got. So how do I get there? Again, you start asking how questions. How can I get to where they're getting, what they're getting or what they're doing? You know, that's the progression that you want the space you want to stay in, asking the how questions, putting together a plan. Because it comes down to this when we start talking about external versus internal, is that if you're looking at something external, unless you are looking at that and saying, I'm using it as a measuring stick, it doesn't get you anywhere. Because if you want to have something change in your external world, then it happens external. So if you want something to change externally in your life, you have to then make the change internally. You have to create it, be able to see the change, to see the positive, and then that's when it shows up in your life, because it's not going to happen any other way. Now, let's look at this all together. You're comparing yourself to others. So you've got jealousy, you've got envy, you've got shame on yourself, you're not making any, you're not creating anything, you're not putting any goals, you're not putting any deadlines, you're not putting any sort of pressure on yourself to get better. You're just looking at what someone else has and you're moping around in that. You know what that does? That creates one big, fat, juicy, giant mindset of you doing absolutely nothing but complaining about what someone else has. Now, as I tell my kids, complaints just state the obvious. I like using what Bob Marley says. Bob Marley says in his Jamaican voice, it was whatever. Marley says that complaints are merely just prayers to the devil. I would have to absolutely 100% agree with that. And if you're doing any of these things, you are absolutely not planning your greatness. But I challenge you to look at any of these things that are showing up in your life. And I would say attack one of them and really try to, okay, this is going to be my call of action to you all. My call of action is take any one of these that you recognize that you are doing that's keeping you stuck. And what I want you to do is I want you to say that these are just complaints. And what I want you to do is I want you to take action on it. If it's 1, 2, 3, or 5, whichever one of them, or you're comparing yourself to others, you're really jealous, you're shaming yourself, take one of those things and take action on it and really actively try to eliminate it out of your vocabulary. Now, if you start doing that, you are absolutely at that point planning your greatness. All right. So make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because it'll notify you on your phone. It'll notify you on your computer, let you know that within about 30 minutes up to an hour that a video is going to go live. You get notices on that. Please make comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear about it. If you have maybe a topic that you want me to try to cover, because I do have a laundry list of papers on topics that I'm going to try to cover. But if I hear something from the audience where somebody really wants me to cover something, I will do my best to try to cover it. And I will end as I always do. Plan your greatness. You know why? That's Jamari taking us home. Again, plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
A young boy once was all alone. No one knew.